Welcome to Gravitas Studios, Behind the Boarding Pass podcast, a true story of trust, betrayal, and the price of silence. This podcast explores the unspoken realities of travel agents navigating global systems, silent barriers, and extraordinary resilience. Let me tell you something, my dear listeners. In this part of the world, a recommendation is stronger than any advertisement. People don't just trust you because you talk well. They trust you because someone they know has already tested you and survived. And that was exactly how this story started. It was after a church service. A confident client of mine, someone I had helped before successfully, introduced me to a man called Francis. He shook my hand, smiled politely, and with confidence he said, "Please, I want you to help my junior brother come to Europe for studies." Now, I didn't know Francis, but the person who gave him my number had already used my services and brought his wife to Denmark. So to me, it wasn't just a random referral, it was credibility, it was trust, it was proof. So Francis called me later that day. His voice was calm, respectful, soft spoken, the kind of voice that makes you believe this man is serious. He introduced himself properly, and then he said, "I live and work in Denmark. I want to bring my junior brother Kelechi, who lives in Agbor, Nigeria." I listened carefully. Then I asked the questions I always ask. How old is he? What's his highest education level? Has he ever been to prison? All the answers were clean. Favorable? Perfect. I told him. "Call me back when you have his education certificates, then we can talk business." And just like that, the deal began. But that same day, Francis introduced me to another friend. His name was Franklin, and Franklin also wanted the same service, but for his own junior brother named Ebenezer, also living in Agbor, Nigeria. So now we had two brothers, two sponsors, two dreams, two families counting on me. I decided to do something I normally do. I created a WhatsApp group so that the students could talk, bond, and become friends before meeting abroad. Because when they finally land in Europe, they'll need each other, they'll need support, they'll need community. Everything was moving smoothly. We agreed on what I always require: certified copies of certificates, international passport copy, passport photographs, and an upfront deposit of one-third of the total amount. Now, let me pause here because this is where many problems start. This is where brother becomes businessman. You see, sometimes these so called sponsors, they pretend they're helping their brother, but the truth is, they are the real clients. They collect money from the student, then come to me and start negotiating like they are doing charity. "My brother, help me. My brother, things are slow. My brother, manage." Meanwhile, they have already collected double or triple the money from the student, and you won't know the truth until everything scatters. That's why I prefer to speak directly with the student. No middleman, no manipulation, no hidden stories. Once the first payment was made, the process started. Now I will skip the admission and documentation stage because that one alone is a whole movie. But long story short, both Kalechi and Ebenezer secured admission into master's programs. So next was visa application. I told them what they needed: criminal record certificate, properly certified, 6 months travel medical insurance, four passport photos, passport, visa application fees. On my side, I prepared everything else: sponsor passport copy, sponsor bank statements, sponsor bank transaction history, sponsor bank attestation, affidavit of financial support, proof of funds, admission letters, accommodation confirmation, visa application forms. Everything was clean, everything was strong, everything was solid. So they went to Abuja. And in that group, it wasn't only Nigeria. There were students from Cameroon, Ghana, and Nigeria. They all submitted their documents at the embassy, and the embassy told them, "Go home, wait 6 to 8 weeks." Now you know that waiting period. That period can kill someone slowly. Every day you wake up, you check your phone. Every vibration feels like destiny. Every unknown number feels like your future calling. Weeks passed, then 7 weeks later, boom. Almost 95% of the students got called. Visa approved. Some were told to send passports through DHL or UPS. Some were told to come in person. Appointment no longer required. Celebration everywhere. Tears of joy. Families shouting. Students screaming. Parents praising God. But now, let me focus on one person, Kelechi. Kelechi from Agbor, Nigeria, the brother of Francis, the same Francis that sounded so respectful on the phone. Kelechi got the call, and the next day he traveled from Agbor to Abuja immediately, straight to the embassy, and by the end of that day, his visa sticker was inside his passport. Kelechi snapped a photo, sent it to me, sent it to his brother Francis. Francis was overwhelmed. He started praising me like a prophet. My brother, may God bless you. You will never lack. You are a good man. This is pure grace. You know that kind of praise? The one that sounds sweet, but later turns bitter. So, after all the excitement, I replied Francis calmly, "Thank you. Please kindly pay the remaining two-thirds balance." Francis said, "No problem. I will pay tomorrow." Tomorrow became 2 days, 2 days became 5 days became 1 week, 1 week became 2 weeks, nothing, no payment. At first, I didn't panic because I was busy with other students, but after 3 weeks, I checked my account again. Still nothing, so I called Francis. And my dear listeners, this is where I knew something had changed. His tone changed, his voice changed, the respect disappeared. He became aggressive. He became rude and he said, "Do you think I will eat your money? I am a deacon in my church. People respect me. Stop bothering me. I will give you your money." Ah, so now I'm bothering you after I delivered the service? After your brother's visa is already inside his passport? Now I'm a disturbance? I didn't argue. I decided to check with Kelechi directly. So I called Kelechi, and what he told me made my stomach turn. He said, "Oga, I have already paid my brother Francis." I asked him, "How much did you pay him?" And Kelechi mentioned an amount. That was 3 times what I charged Francis. 3 times. So this man collected triple money from his brother and now refused to pay me. I called Francis again. I begged him politely, "Please send my money." Francis now said something strange. "I only have cash." "Cash? Okay, no problem. I have a junior cousin in Denmark. Her name is Mia. She lives and studies in the same city as Francis. So I told Mia, "Please help me collect this money." We made a three-way call. Mrs. Mia Francis. Francis agreed confidently. "Tell her to meet me at the central station, coffee shop, tomorrow 5 p.m." Mia went. She even arrived 30 minutes early. She waited. 1 hour passed. Francis did not show up. She called him. He didn't pick. She called again. No answer. She updated me. I called Francis myself. Again and again. No response. Mia went home. Now listen. At this point, it wasn't about money again. It was about insult. It was about disrespect. It was about someone thinking they can use you and dump you like tissue. 1 month later, I decided to do something unexpected. I traveled to Denmark because Denmark is my old city. And that Sunday, I went to the church. And guess who I saw? Francis in church. The same Francis that disappeared, the same Francis that ignored my calls, the same Francis that failed Mia. And when he saw me, his face changed, his body language changed, his confidence vanished. He rushed and greeted me. "My brother, I lost my phone. I got a new number. I have been trying to reach you." Lies, clean lies, but I kept quiet. He said, "After church, I will drive you to the ATM. You will collect your money." After church service, we entered his car. We drove to the ATM. He withdrew only one-fifth of what he owed. He said banking limit. Okay. We agreed to meet again on Monday so he could go inside the bank and withdraw more. Monday came. Francis disappeared again, like smoke, until the next Sunday. And again, I met him in church. He was shocked because he thought I would give up. He thought I would be tired. He thought I would fear him because he is deacon. But, my dear listeners, some of us are not afraid of titles. We fear only God. That Sunday, he started another drama. He begged, he complained, he acted like I was the wicked one, and he asked for more time. I gave him 2 months. 2 months. By that time, his so called brother was already abroad, enjoying Europe, breathing fresh air, living the dream. 2 months later, as we agreed, I showed up again, and that day, Francis did something that shocked me. In a coffee shop, he brought my money. But instead of giving it with respect, he threw it on my body. Yes, he threw it. And then he shouted, I am a deacon in church. I have done many financial transactions. Nobody has ever disturbed me like this. You are rude. You are impatient. I stood there looking at him. This same man that praised me, this same man that called me blessing, this same man that said, God will bless you, now throwing money at me like I'm a beggar. I picked my money quietly. I didn't insult him. I didn't fight him. I didn't argue. I just turned and walked away because sometimes silence is the loudest response. Sometimes walking away is the biggest victory. Sometimes peace is more expensive than pride. My dear listeners, let me ask you something. What would you have done if you were in my shoes? Would you have fought him? Would you have embarrassed him in church? Would you have taken him to the police? Would you have exposed him publicly? Or would you have done exactly what I did, collected your money, and walked away? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the next episode, we will continue with the others. And trust me, it gets deeper, it gets darker, it gets more shocking. So stay with me, because this story is not over. Unscrupulous clients beware, be warned. Subscribe to Gravitas Studios Behind the Boarding Pass podcast. Hit the notification bell and be the first to catch our newest UN spoken stories. Share, like, and drop your comments. Your voice is part of the journey.